Why don't careless people take responsibility for their actions? I don't understand this. I see this over and over again in lots of different cases involving car accident cases and medical malpractice cases and even wrongful death cases. Come join me as I share with you this great information. Hi, I'm Gerry Oginski. I'm a New York medical malpractice and personal injury trial lawyer practicing law here in the state of New York. This happens in every single case that we bring. The attorney that represents the people we have sued, first they say, hey, we did nothing wrong. That's their first defense. The second is, well, you know what? Maybe if we did something wrong, hey, you, the injured victim, you're also responsible. Now they're putting the blame on the injured victim. And now, the third defense that they typically raise is, well, you know what? If we really did something wrong, your injuries, nah, they're not as bad as you're claiming them to be. That is typically what we see. Why can't the injured victim simply turn around to the people who caused their injuries and say, I don't understand. You did something wrong. Man up. Own up to your responsibility, accept the fact that you did something wrong, and now you've got to compensate me for those injuries. Why can't they do that? You want to know why? Because their attorneys and the legal system won't allow them to go ahead and do that. They're afraid. They are afraid that if they stand up and admit the fact that they were now careless, that they were negligent, or departed from basic standards of good care, now what will happen is that they will be held responsible and accountable to compensate you for the harms and the injuries and losses that you've suffered. Well, you might ask yourself, isn't that what it's supposed to be? Yes, that's exactly how the legal system is supposed to work. But the legal system requires that we actually show that we are more likely right than wrong, that what actually occurred did in fact happen. If we are able to show to a jury at trial that we are more likely right than wrong, now the jury is ultimately obligated to go ahead and compensate you, the injured victim, for all of your injuries. So why is that significant? It's significant because over and over again the defense turns around and says, we're not responsible, we did nothing wrong. Or they'll turn around afterwards and say, once they realize that they are wrong, they'll say, you know what? We're not totally at fault. You, the injured victim, also contributed, and now you should also be held accountable. Well, in some instances that may be true. Or they'll turn around and say, hey, you know what? We are at fault, but your injuries and the damages that you suffered are not really as bad as you say they are. So why do I share this great information with you? I share it with you to give you an insight and an understanding into what goes on in the litigation process in a lawsuit involving a medical malpractice case, involving an accident case, or even a wrongful death case here in the state of New York. You know, I realize you're watching this because you have questions or concerns about your own particular matter. Well, if your matter happened here in the state of New York and you do have legal questions, what I encourage you to do is pick up the phone and call me. I can answer your legal questions. This is something I do every single day, and I'd love to talk to you. You can reach me at 516-487-8207 or by email at Gerry, Gerry, at oginski-law.com. That's it for today's quick video. I'm Gerry Oginski. Have a wonderful day.